Hello and welcome to episode 2 of my English podcast. I've been waiting for a long time to start this podcast series, and so I thought, why not begin this episode with something very British indeed? Queuing. Queuing is the art of waiting in a queue, or in other words, in a line of people, waiting for something. And the Brits love forming a queue. It's almost one of our hobbies. According to a 2009 survey, we spend almost 6 months of our lives waiting in queues. Queuing may have originated from periods of rationing, which was a necessary part of daily life during World War I and World War II. People would form very long queues outside of shops in order to get weekly supplies and food, because at that time they were less abundant. Nowadays, we queue for most things in Britain, such as the bus and the train, to buy tickets at the cinema or at the bar when we are waiting to be served. If you ever find yourself in England, make sure you follow these next few rules to adhere to British queue etiquette. Rule number 1. Do not push in front or cut in line. This means that you must not attempt to stand in front of someone who was waiting there before you. Instead, you must wait behind the last person in line. Do not try to avoid waiting, or you will be met with very angry people. Rule number 2. Leave enough space between yourself and the person in front of you. If you can smell them, you are too close. And if you can't touch them, you are too far away. I'd just like to remind you that you should not smell people in queues. Nobody likes that. Rule number 3. It is okay to make certain noises, such as tutting or exhaling, if the wait is very long. You can also roll your eyes to show annoyance. It is important to do this if someone tries to push in front of you as well. If you leave the queue, you can't come back to the same place. You must join the queue behind the last person. Britain isn't the only country in the world where people form queues, but it certainly has been associated with being British. If you ever see a long line of people and you are wondering where the back of the queue is, just ask someone to make sure to avoid confrontation. Just kidding, we won't confront you, but we will politely put you back in your place. Nobody likes a queue jumper. How do people queue in your country? Do they even queue? Start practicing your written English with me in the comments section below at www.myenglishpodcast.com. Thanks for listening, and see you next time.